Hey guys, Sunday, December 22nd, 2024. This is my weekly forecast and maybe the yearly forecast. Because I don't know if I'm going to post another video until next year. So we'll see. So this is going to be like a big catch up, big wrap up, looking at everything and then looking what are the probabilities of nat gas going higher or going lower. So without any further delay, let's get into it. So far, we're going to start off with our commitments of traders report. We know February 20th was our low of 152. And you know that she's been going sideways. You know, you got that June 11th high, that August 27th low, something in September pullback. And this is not reflecting the latest price action. This commitments of a traders report data came in December 16. So we'll see what this week coming up data is showing. But this is retail. You can see that retail is not buying this move higher. They are short and just kind of sideways here since November. But retail, that's you and me. We're not that important. Where the money is, what you really want to watch out is for commercial and large speculators. This is large speculators. You can see that in October, they kind of bottomed out, shorting, and then you get this move up on nat gas. They are sideways. Sideways until the week of December 2nd. Something happened that large speculators now are starting to buy. This is the week of the 9th. This is their position. Minus 151, now minus 140. And this is their last reported December 16, 128. So now they're stepping their game up, noticing that nat gas is going higher. Same thing is for commercial. Only thing is that they are unloading now their long positions and they are going short, so they're hedging. You can see that they are kissing the support here, April 29th. They already have pierced it. So now that nat gas is going higher, now they're going the opposite. So when you look at both of them together, now it looks like they're coming in into the zero line. Commercial hedging, large speculators are now buying. And that's the latest. So it'll be interesting to see what this week's data shows now that we got this nice big pop of 382 high. Let's see what the large speculators are doing and what they're reporting, and also commercial. Okay, so this is spectrum cycle analysis, and I'm using a weekly chart using pretty much data from 2001-ish to current prices. And just want to put it out there, I am bullish for 2025. Why? I'm going to show you why. There is a cycle that I'm using on this chart, which is the 229 cycle. And if we zoom in a little bit and push this out, you can see that this weekly cycle has bottomed. Hit a trough around April 2024, around 22nd. This cycle is up all the way, you could say around May or June of 2026. So this part, for this sector, or this year right here, I am very bullish nat gas. Once we get to 2026, then this is what I call the concern zone or the danger zone. This is where you don't want to be greedy and thinking it's going to go to the moon. If you believe in spectrum cycle analysis. If not, you know, you don't have to worry about it. But this is the area that I'll be concerned. We got ways to go. This is where the weekly cycle stops. So the strategy would be any dips or really good dips could be great opportunities to dip in, and manage your risk. As the cycles are pointing up, we have Trump coming in. Who knows what he's going to do, but they say that he likes the energy sector, and who knows what doors he's going to open that nat gas is going to possibly trend higher. The weather, who knows? It's going to start getting colder. That could be another catalyst going forward. But whatever it is that is going to push nat gas higher, the weekly cycles are backing it up. And like I said, this is the cycle 229. And this is why, one of the reasons why I'm bullish into 2025. And then 2026 start getting a little concerned. Now, the daily chart is very interesting. I am using 5 years worth of data. So from 2008 to current prices. What's interesting here is that there is a cycle that is 258 and it's pretty strong within 5 year worth of data. And this cycle is down until, guess what, February. We know seasonality wise, January and February are the weakest in regards to seasonality. What's interesting is that the cycle that has nothing to do with seasonality is projecting a low somewhere around February, which lines up with the seasonality of natural gas being weak between January and February. Our last low that we did was here, 152, around February the 20th. So I hope we're not getting one of these right here. This was January the 15th, right? This is December 13th, low. We got this nice spike into January the 12th, and then the Black Widow pulled the rug, and we got this low on February 14th. Is this going to play out the same somewhere around January and then slam into February? Follow the seasonality, follow the spectrum cycle, which they both line up very, very well. That's something for you to decide. Either way, if this does play out, this is your buying opportunity of the lifetime right here. It's 2025. Between February all the way up, you got the weekly cycle up, and now you're going to have the daily cycle up. So this is more for the bears that are salivating in the cave, trying to short, but the Black Widow keeps pumping it up. Once January comes in and you see some kind of price action like that drastically, then it could be very possible that we could play this out. And this will be in your favor as a bear. And as a bull, you'll be excited for this to play out, because this is where you want to get in. Because you already know the weekly cycles are up into 2026. So this is the 258 cycle that is for the bears. So far, it hasn't been playing out because nat gas has done a breakout from that 356, whatever that high was. Yep. And it has a breakout that happened last week. Now, what you want to see is this going to continue, or was this a dead cat bounce, or was this a false breakout? And then take it from there. Now let's look at this other cycle that I'm watching. And on the daily, there's two important ones using the 5-year worth of data. Next one is the 328. Now the 328 cycle, this is more for the bulls. Because this cycle has been up since June of, you can say June the 25th-ish, around there, of 2024. This cycle has been up. You can see that there's some kind of momentum here. Now what's interesting here is that this cycle peaks somewhere around January. The 23rd, around there, which it's somewhere around the second week of January. And then this cycle goes down. So can there be more leg to the upside? Very possible. But then this one pulls back, which is kind of the opposite of what normally natural gas does, which is she makes a low somewhere around January and February and then goes up. This one's going to be a little harder, but I am just following the data. And what the data is saying, that's what it is. So if this is what's going to play out, the bulls should be excited because there could be a lot of movement to the upside. Just be careful around 23rd-ish, around there, the second week of January, as it gets toppy and then it goes down, which, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily just, you know, crash or go down. It could just probably go sideways. Those are the couple of my observations using the spectrum cycle analysis. And sometimes when it's going down, it just goes sideways, just in chop fest. And then, you know, or sometimes it just completely ignores it and continues grinding higher, ignoring the cycle, like what we're doing now, where we know it's weak in January, February, but she's chucking along higher, kind of like ignoring everything else. So just keep that in mind. But this cycle is for the bulls, and this one is the 328. If it continues grinding higher and we get to the first, second week of January, just be cautious because it could turn, or it could just go sideways or continue pushing higher. This is my other seasonality chart I like to look at. So I'm focusing just pretty much October, November, and the end of the year. So far, this is our price action. Low on the 18. Gonna make a high around the November 21st. Kind of sideways to lower. Looks like a, what they call that, a flag, a bull flag. For traders say that, a bull flag. And somewhere around the 4th, just kind of sideways and got this explosion higher. The 13 pulled back to the 17. And maybe this is not reflecting the latest data, but we know that it pushed higher. Let's look at our 5-year average and see what seasonality wise, what nat gas normally does. You can see they kind of followed it pretty well. December 4th, we got that low here, grind higher. She went a little further, the 13th, and then it's kind of like chop fest here on the 5-year average. And on December 16, that's when the Black Widow pulls the rug. And a 5-year on average, she starts trending lower from December 16. But she did the opposite. December 16, the Black Widow is pushing higher. Interesting. So this 5-year average so far as of now is not playing out. Let's put our 10-year and see what 10-year happens. Kind of price action we get. Somewhere around the 12, she kind of goes sideways and then she just starts dwindling lower. That's a 10-year average, but she's trending higher. So she's doing the opposite of what normally she does. Using 15-year average. 15-year average, it indicates that she starts getting toppy somewhere around November 26. And then from there, they pull the rug. and she starts dwindling lower. This time, she's just chopping around and pushing higher. When you put all of them together, the picture you get is that this was the last line for her to start turning over here, and that didn't play out. She got some really momentum to the upside. And none of these 5-year, 10-year, 15 years playing out. She's doing what she wants to do. And it looks like she wants to go higher unless it's a bull trap. In the next following weeks, she's going to reveal her true motive. But we will see. If you're looking at the commodity top performers, you can see using 5-year, uranium is down a little bit. Using 1 year worth of data, you see the natural gas is on the board. So that's pretty good. Using 6 months, natural gas is on the board. Lumber's in there too. Using 3 month, natural gas is on the board. So it's looking good. Using our 3-month quarter performance, you can see natural gas is on the top. Month to date performance, we're up there with VIX and cocoa. Using the monthly performance, you can see it's up there with cocoa. Cocoa is pretty good. 1 week, right there with the VIX. And looking at the daily, we're at the top. Let's look at our charts and look at the energy. And if we do our weekly, you could tell that we are just in chop fest. Pure chop fest. Not to worry about ethanol, but look at nat gas. Looks like it just wants to trend higher. Like it just wants to push higher. I don't like trading in this kind of environment because it's just pure chop. That's why I haven't really done any analysis on it, because, I mean, look at the monthly. Look at that, it's going nowhere. You want to trade that? Unless you're in and out, yeah, you could do that. I mean, you could look at the daily and there's little swings. But overall, you're not going nowhere. Heating oil, it's not going nowhere. Crude oil, Brent, nowhere. Nat gas, Black Widow is doing something interesting. RBOB, pretty much a lot of chop fest. So keep that in mind when you want to get into an instrument or speculate. You don't want it looking like that. You probably want it looking more like, you want it looking like this. Like, see this? When you see that, that's when you want to get in. Is that hard? Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get in like that, but it gives you signs, especially in the weekly when you get a big full kicker candle like that. And sometimes it doesn't work out. You get, trapped. But, just a tip. Even something like this, which is a gap, but then look, it pulled back. Look at that, same thing. Bull kicker candle, but then it didn't really go nowhere. So that that happens also, but you wanna like trade this kind of stuff. And then when it's consolidating, try to get into that move instead of trying to speculate here. You're like, man, why is this thing not working? Yeah, because it's in chop fest. When I mean chop fest, it's just you're going sideways. You're not really doing anything exciting, compared to like something like this with some swings. Okay, so this is my master chart. This is my fractal. You guys been following me for a while. You know what this is. So let's put our neural net, our computer, and so far our computer has been forecasting prices going down to at least 12.12 and then bouncing from there. So far, the Black Widow is ignoring a computer's forecast and is trending higher. So let's see how this week's price action is going to play out if we could stay above this area. Now in regards to the geometry, our Gann fan, you can see that we bounced off of here and took out that high, and now, pushing higher. We might have to delete that one. Now this is the most important angle right now, focusing from our February 20th low of 152. Look where we at. This is very bullish with the big B. We are above the 1x1 angle, 45-degree. This is weakness. This is strength. You're on this side, you are strong. You don't want to short anything around this side. Anywhere around here, yeah, because you're on the weaker side. So this is bullish. Can we stay on this side all the way to 2025? Time will tell. But if we are on this side pushing higher, this is very, very bullish. What I don't want to see is next week come and we go like boom, and we're back in the side of weakness. Even if we're going to do a wave 4 according to the Elliott wave theory and hit that wave 4 and then go up, that's fine, because then that wave 5 is probably going to push it higher. And that's okay with me, because it's going to always fluctuate back and forth. But the more you stay on this side, the stronger that gas is going to get. Just wanted to make sure that I emphasize on that. All right, the next one is our Gann grid. Look where we at, right on a vector. So this is very dangerous, because I've shown to you in the past, when we hit vector points, things get a little crazy. And I'm showing you guys vector points where things move very, very fast. And we're right there. So can this thing go like this? Very possible. The Gann grid indicates that that's very possible, or maybe continue going higher and shoot higher, explode even, with more volatility to the upside. But when you get a move like this, most of the time from what I've seen, like that, is that it reverses, and hopefully it's not something this drastic. But it does happen. So be cautious. That's what I'm saying. Be cautious, because there's a lot of moving parts and I don't know which one's going to play out. It's very exciting. We got Trump that maybe is going to change some things. We got the weather that's getting colder. So there's a trader named Larry on my Twitter. He showed me some things that, could give this move some legs. So just be careful. There's a lot of things happening. The ellipse, we got some action here. So we got that nice pullback, and then from here an explosion. So that was positive. Trend line, that's good. Nothing to be worried about there. On the 128, this one you want to keep an eye on. This date, January the 21st. That's a Tuesday. Keep an eye on that. Warrior was indicating, or turning point, maybe pushing lower, but so far we got an opposite effect, going higher. What's this right here? The 11th. We got over here the 21st. So we got two clusters indicating these are harmonics. So keep an eye on the 21st. That's a Tuesday. We got the harmonics also in conjunction with the 128 technique. There's something here. Let's look at the Gann grid to see if anything's there on the 21st. Never mind. That's my son. He's congested a little bit. Yeah, the Gann grid shows a vector on the 26th. So the 21st is right here. So there's a little things happening here. So we got to be cautious. Fibonacci extension 276.4 leads you all the way to 1226 right after Christmas. I don't give it too much weight, but I'm watching it. So yeah, so that's that. And we had a harmonic, or not a harmonic, a two wings wave from past movements, and we got this nice explosion to the upside. The next one will probably be in March, but that's too far away. And lastly, from our lips, I'm sure we kissed that circle all the way in the top of 182. We'll probably keep an eye on, there you go, the 21st again. So this is a hot spot right here. This 21st to 22nd, this is going to be very interesting. If this could be maybe a turning point going down. So keep an eye on that, pretty much, which is the second, maybe second week around there of January. Okay, so this is the last clip, I guess, of my video for this year. You guys have been following me know what this is. This is the algo forecasting a bottom or a swing low into, you could say, December 22nd all the way to 25th from these two swing points. And so far, nat gas has been doing the opposite. So I wonder, and I think this way, is that sometimes I wonder if this is just an inverse and then the turn comes. But that's just me speculating, not that it's going to happen. But all the algos was forecasting for low here, and that hasn't played out. So as you can see, that sometimes things don't work out. So now let's look at our monthly bar. So far, very, very bullish. On top of that, we blew right through the 1 by 1. These are key levels you want to watch. In regards to monthly levels, 346, 336, and all the way to 321, 304. Buying opportunities of a wave 4 plays out to end up with a wave 5. Looking at our weekly, so far the last 3 weeks have been bullish. So that's positive. Now into my favorite part, which is the cycles that I watch. This is the solar cycle. The solar cycle peaked around 1217, 1218. The seasonality one I showed you, the 5-year average kind of peaked or went sideways to the 16. So this was that window for it to start going down. On the solar cycle, the 18, this is when it should have started going down. As you can see, forecasting February is the hot month for a low. And actually, it's probably indicating the one that we did last year. So this is a solar cycle. And so far, nat gas has been pushing higher. So let's see how next week, now that we have an official breakout, I want to see if this is not going to return back into the chop fest and start grinding higher. Another cycle that I've been watching is, and I lean a lot on this one, is I call it the Gann cycle, but I'll leave it at that. Is that from here, 17, 18, this cycle goes down till the 21st, 22nd. Interesting. Doesn't that ring a bell? Using the harmonics and the other stuff I showed you. Interesting. So this cycle bottoms out around here. So if nat gas is following this is for the bears. This would be your ideal moment to start shorting, and not financial advice. I'm just following what, the cycles that I follow. But we just have to see price action follow this. If it doesn't follow this, this is going to be void. And somewhere around here, this will be your buying opportunity to see, how it plays out into next year, 2025. But so far, this one is bearish in conjunction with the solar cycle. And then lastly, we could go into natural cycles. This is our annual. And you can see that from here, it's bearish. And so far, nat gas is going higher. Our fast annual peak topped around November, and it goes pretty much, down. And so far, that hasn't been playing out in regards to price action. 6 years worth of data, same thing. Although here you get a bounce, but then it ends there. And then the annual decimal, you can see that right here. It's interesting. Everything kind of like fluctuate or has a transition here where then it pops. So I wonder if there's an inverse here going down. So very interesting. And lastly, using, let's see, we go up here. 10 years ago, nat gas made a peak here somewhere around November the 20th. Went down all the way to this area right here of the 23rd, 21st. And then kind of popped. Then made a low here. So be careful in this area. That will be this week coming up. Let's look at 20 years ago. Now, 20 years ago looks interesting because 20 years ago, we were somewhere around right here where we were about to enter and then dropped into the 4th, went up to the 18. You could say the 21st, 18 around there. So remember the 18, 21st, not the 18, but the 21st, 22nd, hot zone. If this price action kind of plays out, this could probably be very possible where it could do this. And then, I don't know, maybe make a fail new low here in February, which maybe not be your final low, but could be fail new low and then start trending higher to 2025. We shall see. It's a lot to digest, but I want to just leave it there. I don't want to make this video too long. So to sum it all up, your 45 is your most important angle. We are very bullish. If there's no pullbacks, Elliott wave theory says this is going to be possible wave 4 and then end up with a wave 5. We shall see. Weekly cycles are up. Large speculators are now starting to wake up. Commercial now are starting to unwind and start shorting. They're starting to hedge. Nat gas is going up. The weather is starting to get cold, maybe. There's a forecast for that. And Trump coming in power and tariffs and all of that. Maybe nat gas wants to trend higher. But you see all the pros and cons in regards to the analysis. You have to decide who you are. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you going to buy in a dip? Elliott wave theory says there's a wave 4 coming. Will you get in there now that you missed all this move? That'll be your opportunity. And then, and on a wave 5. Or there is no pullback and you just have to intraday get in and ride this thing higher now that it did an official breakout. The 1027 high of 353 or 363. Or is this the Black Widow about to pull the rug here and follow seasonality? A lot to digest. I showed you all the scenarios, all the pictures, all the data, everything backing it up. Now we have to see what price action is going to do and then take it from there. This is going to be probably my last video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's been fun trading with you guys. I don't know. I know some of you that interact with me on Twitter and on YouTube, on the comments. So I kind of remember your names. So I wish you happy holidays, happy New Year's. Stay focused. I'm looking forward to 2025 and being here with you guys, analyzing the markets. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on nat gas.